Welcome back to Business Boone, a product of the Boone County Chamber and hosted by Deepen Talent Strategies. I'm Shauna Lake.
And I'm Lauren Byram, and today we are joined by Matt Maudline, the owner of Memo Marketing. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. So we can't wait to dive in today and talk to you a little bit about Memo Marketing Group. But one question we really like to ask our guests before we start our conversation is, if your life was a movie, what would the title be?
Okay, my life was a movie. What would the title be?
Yeah.
So there's a movie that is probably one of my favorites. It's Kevin Costner stars in it. It's called Field of Dreams. Are you familiar with that one?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I have felt like a lot of my professional career has been kind of doing some things that maybe others might have thought to be a little bit strange, and just kind of had to step out in faith a little bit. And I feel that's a big part of that movie. And so that's probably what I would select.
I think that's a great title.
That really is. Thanks. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
I might have to borrow that sometime. Okay. Thanks, Matt. I feel like the word pivot has been a little overused since the pandemic, but I think it also might be fair to say that Memo Marketing has had a few pivots since you've been in business. Would you agree?
Oh, for sure.
Can you tell us a little bit about the latest leap that you've taken as a business?
Yes. So Memo Marketing Group was started in 2008. We were an outsourced marketing department, probably before the term outsource even was known.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the changes just have taken place as that has become more comfortable to people to think that I'm going to hire somebody that's not going to actually sit in a desk in my office, that I'm going to maybe use somebody fractionally. So lots of pivots along the way from that standpoint. Most recently we've kind of changed a little bit of what we're doing, niched more specifically into a product that we call direct reach. So a lot of times the companies that we do work for, we are their only marketing resources, and so they don't have any in-house marketing, and so they really pay attention to their dollars. Branding, although I know how important that is, sometimes might feel a little bit as a luxury to some smaller companies, but it's an important piece of it. And so at the end of the day, we talk about all the different ways that we can help them from a marketing standpoint, branding being one of those. But what we had really noticed is that really what people are looking for is they're looking for leads to help grow their business. So really, I guess over the last year and a half, we've been really niching down to something specifically to that. How can we help them get more leads in their business? How can we help them build their pipeline? So that's probably our most latest pivot.
Yeah, it's exciting technology.
Yeah, no, it has been for sure.
Yeah, thank you.
So kind of thinking about what you're doing and the new technology that you're developing, can you share what problem it's solving and how, it differentiates from maybe what's already out there?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I often explain to people that they may feel like they have a sales problem when often I would argue they have a pipeline problem. And so probably help to define a little bit about what does that mean. So the idea of a pipeline would be that a lot of people who would be good candidates for a company's products or services, sometimes they don't even know they have a problem yet. We get so close to our own business, we can see things a lot of times before others can see that. And so really understanding that I'm going to be talking to somebody who may not even understand they have a problem yet, it's important to kind of begin where they are in the process. And so recognizing that this is kind of like a buyer's journey. And so our service really kind of aligns with that and helps our clients walk people through that buyer's journey, answering their questions. We tell people you want to be the most helpful expert in their inbox on their team, right? Just helping them along the process. Yeah. So that's a big piece of it.
Sure. I think meeting people where they are is so important in every aspect of life. So that's awesome. Yeah. No, it's been super fun. I think a lot of times what we have learned is that when companies tend to identify somebody who would be a good candidate for what they do,
I think the natural reaction is they immediately go into sales mode,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of times where you want to start is really that education. And sometimes it's educating people to a point to recognize that maybe they themselves are not the best fit to solve that problem. But when you go into that with that mindset, it's received so much better,
I like that.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you spend time educating your clients on that process.
Yes, yeah, that's a lot of what I feel like we're doing is not just helping them with those specific services, but really bringing them along in the understanding, and so it's a big part of it.
Speaking of bringing people along, business shifts like the ones that you've done and the one that you've done lately requires some tough decisions. What are some of the challenges that you've faced as you've made some shifts in your business, and how have you brought your team along?
Yeah, I think one of the hardest parts about owning a business is understanding and being able to be willing to accept when it's time to make shifts in your business. And I think carving out the time to really invest in that way is a huge piece of that. Not just figuring out where you're going to go with your products and services, who your new ideal clients might be, but to your point, Shauna, it's also recognizing you have to bring your team along too, and helping them understand how's this going to shift. I just feel like we're in this industry that there's constantly evolving approaches, new technology, new softwares. I just feel for business owners who aren't in my shoes constantly looking at all of those solutions. They're just inundated with, so-and-so is using this. Should I be using that? I heard this was out there. Should I try that? It's a constant evolution. And so recognizing and setting a course and a path for us, and then bringing our team along, bringing our clients along, you have to set aside time to kind of really invest in that.
Yeah. So thinking about the decisions that your clients have made and the changes that are going on, how do you stay on the edge or the leading in front of what's going to happen next? All of those different changes. I mean, even thinking about AI is coming out now, and how do you stay in front of that?
Yeah. I really think that you have to set aside time to focus on that. A lot of times we'll talk about on a monthly basis, what are the specific projects that we want to get done this particular month, and it involves sometimes also recognizing that there will be fires you have to put out and emergencies that you have to do, but this has to be in that same category. It's important to constantly be investing in this space, especially like I said, marketing. There's a new whiz-bang technology all the time.
Yep.
And really paying attention to that and trying to understand what's the best fit for our clients. That's you have to be willing to invest that time.
Yeah.
Speaking of time allocation, I've enjoyed our conversations we've had offline about the innovation that you've been pursuing in your business. How do you balance, I'm genuinely curious as a business owner, how do you balance the time that you spend on innovation and creating new products and services with managing the day-to-day operations of the work that you're doing already and how you're serving your current clients? Yeah.
I have to really rely on our team to handle a lot of the back office work that we do. I spend a lot of my time doing some of the innovation work, but also managing the client relationships. And so I think, like I mentioned, I think setting aside the time to make sure that you are doing that type of work, that you are putting time aside to really invest in the innovation side of it is a huge piece of I think what a owner, a CEO has to do.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to an owner or CEO who's reinventing their business while still building their business and running their day-to-day operations and working in the marketing space?
Yeah. I think recognizing that you're constantly being evaluated in terms of what else could somebody be doing. What I mean by that is you could be serving your clients really well today. There's always someone else who comes up with another approach. And I think you constantly have to be evaluating that in your business and recognize, is there some way, some technology, some approach that could serve our clients better? And recognize that that is just a part of doing business today anymore, and just commit that to the cost of doing business.
Sure.
Good advice. So my last question for you, Matt, is fast forward 3 years. You're a guest back on the podcast. Describe for us where memo marketing is and what your technology will have achieved by then.
Okay. Well, I probably need to explain a little bit about that.
Okay.
We get into a lot of digital advertising. A lot of companies tend to do that, whether that be Google ads, Facebook ads, things like that. We have a unique approach. We call it direct reach. And what that is, instead of based on the technology of where you go online, which is what a lot of the advertising platforms are relying on to be able to serve you the right kinds of advertising. Our technology is based on where you physically go. So we build audiences for our customers that relate to where their prospects go. Restaurants, other retail locations, trade shows, what hotels do they stay in. If they can tell us the types of places where their ideal customers gather, we can build an audience that we can help them advertise to. The idea behind that is there's greater intent based on where you physically go than where you go online.
Sure.
And so this is a rather new technology. And so it's kind of hard to say 3 years from now what that could look like. But it has been super exciting to be able to come to our clients with brand new solutions that they had never even thought of. The idea that instead of having to go to every trade show in their industry and committing to that kind of expense, I can tell them, you don't have to go to the trade show anymore. We could just advertise as if you were there to the folks who are there on their devices. And when they leave that place, we can then still advertise to them for you. It has opened up brand new conversations. So my response to what could this look like 3 years from now, I have no idea. I have no idea,
Fair.
but it's super exciting. That is something that we have been investing in, as we kind of alluded to that. How our clients are doing outreach is really important, because part of our technology is when we advertise to those folks, if they click on one of our ads and come to our client's website, our technology is identifying who they are. And that's a brand new thing for our clients. That's where they immediately want to get in there and start selling.
Yeah.
And I really have to use our ability to educate them to say, no, they are on a buyer's journey. You have to help them through that process in an expert way. And so we're using AI technology to help with that, to help them understand what are some of the best ways to do that outreach that feel very friendly and personal and things like that. And so I feel like in many ways we're kind of on that cutting edge, but no idea what it could look like 3 years from now.
Yeah. I think it's probably exciting to everybody except trade show organizers who might be a little nervous.
Could be, yeah.
No, thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Congratulations on what you built.
No, it's super fun. Thank you.
Really exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So one thing, again, we like to ask all of our guests is, if you could go back 15 years, 20 years to your younger self, what's one thing that you wish you would have known then that you know now?
Well, it's interesting because I I think that's a good question. What popped in my head right now is I have my 23-year-old son who works for us now.
Oh, boy.
So I kind of feel like some of the things I find myself saying, I actually could or should be saying to him, right? I would say the one thing I would say, if I could go back to my 23-year-old self, I would say believe in yourself. Because I think a lot of my, just kind of the history of working, you get wrapped up into doing things that you feel are right, and you begin to hear other people's voices in your mind, in your ear, right? And I feel like that just the idea of recognizing that, you know, you're stepping out and you're doing something unique as a business owner, and not everybody has the guts to do something like that. And so you have to trust in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. And I just remember so many different directions that I took because I chose to listen to people. When I look back now, I'm like, I just wish I would have believed in myself right at that moment. And so what I would tell myself and what I'll tell my 23-year-old son is just believe in yourself.
Yeah.
That's a big piece of it.
Well, hopefully he listens to you.
That's good
He
advice.
doesn't always, so.
Good advice. Thank you.
Yeah.
So how can our listeners connect with you if they want to learn more?
Yeah, so I'm very active on LinkedIn. You can find me, Matthew Maudline, on LinkedIn. Our website is memomarketinggroup.com. Anybody who wants to learn more about what we do and how we serve clients, that's a great place to go too.
Okay.
Terrific. Thank you so much for being with us, Matt. This was a
Yeah.
great conversation.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
That's great. We will be back with more insightful conversations. Until then, continue leading and growing with purpose.